So Dr. John here on a Sunday afternoon, and life is motion. That's what we talk about all the time in our office. And if you want to improve how you feel in life, one of the greatest things you can do is activate motion. What chiropractic does is activates motion on a segmental level. Our goal with every adjustment is to activate normal physiologic range of motion in the joints of the spine and your extremities. And when you do that, an undeniable cascade of constructive neurology that's going to help your body adapt better to stresses takes place. There's a panacea of good that happens when you move. Even if you don't feel like moving, you want to try to move as best you can. Well, I'm here to talk to you about something today that fits in with what we do overall, this movement concept. And that's called spinal remodeling. It's going to be called using the Wobble Chair, okay? Many people will come to us with difficult problems, disc herniations, disc bulges. We take on the toughest of the tough. Ridiculous pain down their arms, down their legs. Well, we work to activate motion in the spine through the adjustment. Behind me you see a Cox table, terrific instrument for adjusting, very gentle, rhythmic, wave-like, oscillatory, very gentle. Behind that is a hilo, Zenith hilo, where we do our Thompson techniques, our SOT blocking, and techniques of that nature. This little table, I don't know if you can quite see it, it might be cut out in the video, is a nickel side posture table where we do our Blair upper cervical adjustment, very specific adjusting of the upper neck, doesn't involve any popping or cracking. Some people just are, they just don't like it. We don't have to do it. But spinal remodeling, I'm here to talk to you about that. The way your discs stay healthy and keep nourishment and hydration is, first of all, put nourishment and hydration in your body, good food, good quantities of water, bone broth, collagen, those things are great nutritional supplements for your joints, great food for your joints. But the other food you need is motion. So we're looking at this spine. And this is a spine I've had since college, so it's almost as old as me. But anyway, you can see it looks a little worn, so this represents what we would say is an arthritic spine. But what we want to do through this spinal remodeling, and Tai Chi does this, the adjustment does this, but this is your therapeutic thing you should do when you come in the office, is get on those weird little chairs, those wobble chairs, and here's why you want to do that. You're going to load and unload these discs. Notice if I lean backwards, there's open wedges on the front. If I lean forward, you're going to get open wedges on the back side, where those bumpy bones are. What you're doing is unloading when you bend backwards the front part of the joint, the disc, and you're loading the back part. That's creating a pressure differential within the disc. Under the low pressure side, the open wedge, the unloaded side, nutrients are going to seep in. Under the high pressure side, where there's a closed wedge, where we're increasing pressure, you're going to expunge or squeeze water and toxins out of that joint area. There's capillary beds in the surface of the bones above and below. And when you do this loading and unloading, whether it's front to back or side to side, see I'm creating that open and closed wedge effect. Again, you're creating a pressure differential that's going to bring nutrients in and waste products out. That's how you have to get nutrients into your spine. Same thing with your cartilage in your knees. There's going to be a loading and unloading as you walk or stretch or ride a bicycle, one of the best things. So, the wobble chair, here's how you do it, okay? They're in the waiting room, they're back here. You want to sit on the chair, and there's a little handle where you can adjust the height of the chair, okay? But I want to make this so that my knees are at about a 90-degree angle with my thigh, and my hips and thigh are at 90 degrees. And what I'm going to simply do is nice and slowly arch forward. So now I'm creating an open wedge on the front, round my back towards the back side, creating an open wedge on the back. So I'm getting this pressure, this loading and unloading effect that's creating pressure differentials within the disc, activating an exchange of nutrients and waste products in and out of that disc. It's also sending signals to your brain. Your brain's going, wow, this spine's moving again. Wow, it hasn't moved in a while. That's what happens when you start getting adjusted. You start to create a body-brain connection that's undeniable. All your organ systems are going to be regulated more accurately relative to your environment. You'll break up patterns of chronic stress and all kinds of things. So here you're just going to do like 20 of these, nice and easy. Keep it simple. If you are in pain, you're going to keep it small. Don't go into pain. You don't want to put your hand on a hot stove, do you? You don't want to put your body into a position of pain either. So you'll do like 20 of those, both ways. Okay, total of 20. Then you're going to go side to side. Notice how I'm keeping my upper body still. I'm not leaning. I'm not doing this, okay? I'm keeping my upper body relatively still. And start small. Start small. Now the difference between this, and then you can do little circles, nice and easy. The difference between the wobble chair and, let's say, an exercise ball, which you say, well, I can just do this on an exercise ball. You can approximate what's happening with an exercise ball, but the difference is that the axis of rotation of this wobble chair is the same diameter as my lumbar disc, the average lumbar disc in a human being. Whereas the exercise ball, the axis of rotation is the size of your posterior, your butt, if you will, and the ball that you're sitting on. So it's going to project forces up higher. You're not going to quite get into the L5, L4, lower disc area, where most people have the problems. Now this is also working my core musculature, because my core musculature has to engage in order to do these movements. So a lot of things are happening. Circulation, lymph, this exchange of nutrients within and without of the disc, and as pressure gradients change. So open wedge, closed wedge. Open wedge on the front, closed wedge on the front, okay? Side to side, okay? So 20, doesn't take long, do it nice and slow. Come in the office, who cares how you look? You're gonna help yourself. This is therapeutic exercise, folks. This isn't some malarkey, okay? Do it, you'll get results. Ignore it, you'll see the results of that as well, which you might have been feeling already. So anyway, just get in here, get on the wobble chairs, 20 each way. If there's an X-shaped pattern, we'll get into that in another video, but just do the side to side, front to back, and little circles. But make sure you do them both directions. As you do this, take some deep breaths. Don't hold your breath. Take some deep breaths. On another video, we'll discuss more things on Tai Chi, warm-up stretching, Qigong. You can do everything that this chair does without any equipment at all, with a little more focus and a little more effort. But this is very basic. It's in our office. You can get started on it next visit. Wobble chair, spinal remodeling, pressure gradient differentials. Okay? Hope you learned something today. Have a great day.